Okay, Logan, shall we see if Panlight gets the Logie seal of approval? Shall we? Okay. Right, hi everyone. Pardon you. In this video, I saw an advert for this thing called Panlight, which looks like a modifier for you to put underneath your flash, for you to be able to rotate it, moving up and down with a really controlled signal. Now, I'm a big fan of trying to find out if something's bullshit before investing any money in it, kind of stuff. For example, if you ever remember Solar Roadways, which if you look up Thunderfoot, he has ripped that apart. Or Anna, what was her name? Or was it Anna Sarkeesian, the woman going, oh, feminism in computer games, and how she made millions of pounds in a Kickstarter kind of thing, and then has made no videos about it, or is just total bullshit again. So whenever I see someone saying Kickstarter, you think, right, you've got to think, is this something which is actually bullshit, or is it not? So this Panlight, straight off my head, I was thinking, God, this is another thing to have in your bag that requires a remote control that'll probably fall out and probably has little use. But I just watched the video, and the videos always are very convincing. But what I want you to do, you have a look, you have a little watch of it as well, and I'm just going to comment on it. What I actually think is that they've made it so it's this thing, which is a little remote. You can make it point up and down, or rotate full 360 degrees. You can attach any sort of speed light to it, or you can, with a little connector, you can put a camera on as well. They say the limit of the weight for a camera is 1 kilogram, 2.2 pounds. So you couldn't be putting on like a Canon 5D with any sort of lens, but maybe the Panasonic GH4 would go on quite well, or in their example they did an Olympus. What they're saying is that the idea of this would be that you could have a flash a good distance away, and you can just remotely operate it so it points up and down. Instead of, for example, this woman would have to go all the way back up the stairs, re-point it, go all the way back down and shoot it. Generally, I would say if you're shooting weddings, you should always have a second shooter that can be there to be your light man. Or you get one of your the best men or the bride and groom party to be an assistant for you to make sure that you get the shots for the bride and groom. So I thought, like, do you really need a remote control thingamabob to do this? And, well, what I'm thinking here, this is a bit here. See, they're sticking a camera on it, and they're putting it in the corner. I think this is where it is actually a bit, not so much for the flashes. Yeah, okay, flashes, it's got its point. But if you've got a camera that's got Wi-Fi, and you can set recording start and stops, you can effectively, in a two-man team, be a 3-camera setup with 4 angles. So what I mean by that is that you could be cameraman A, cameraman B, but you could also have a static camera somewhere, and the third camera would be on this, let's say in the middle of a room. And you can, if you've got a Wi-Fi remote, you can do start and stop of the camera, but you could, let's say it's a bride and the best man's speeches, so it goes from the best man, and then it goes to the groom going, oh no, you could have that camera in the middle, rotate from the best man giving the speech, and then rotate down to the groom going, oh no, his reaction kind of shot. And you can mix that in with video from cameraman 1, cameraman 2. So that's where I think it would actually be like really good. Obviously you wouldn't want to capture the video of that moving around, capturing it, but that's why you have another 2 cameramen to be able to control it. So I think this would actually be pretty damn useful for much more for video, for wedding videos. You can have it just plonked in a tripod in the middle of the room, shooting video of the speeches and doing a full rotation of everything. And what it means is that then you're not having to edit out a cameraman crouching in the middle of the reception room. So I think that's a pretty damn good idea. And the same, like there he's saying, like you can have the camera right at the altar where the minister is. Sometimes like you're not allowed up here. You could just stick the camera there, and if you've got a camera which has got Wi-Fi settings, then you could totally be like getting photos from back there. So I think that would be pretty damn good. Maybe having 2, one with the camera, one with the flash. You could effectively be at the other side of the room, setting up the camera angle. But the only thing is you need a Wi-Fi camera. The Panasonic GH4 does that perfectly, and it shoots at 4K photo resolution, so it can be recording 30 frames a second at 4K 8 megapixel images, and you can also be syncing it up with the flash. That would be fantastic. So I'm trying to think, is this a bullshit idea? Is it a bullshit idea? So the things I think are downer on it is another thing in your bag. Is another thing with a remote that potentially fall out your pocket. Like biggest thing that for me is I always leave something behind. I shot a corporate shoot the other day, and I even went around all the rooms that I went and took photos in beforehand. I was like, yeah, definitely got everything. A day later, get a call saying, oh yeah, Dom, we found a flash you left in one of the rooms. I'm like, oh bollocks, went around. It was a £330 Nikon SB900, which I'd left in somebody's room. For a photo shoot, I was only getting paid £150 for. So it's like, yeah, that could have been a total waste of my time. So that's the other thing. I'm thinking, like, this is another thing to take in your bag, to carry, to potentially leave, and you need a remote in your pocket, falling out, all that kind of stuff. But that's such a minor thing. It really is a minor thing. Yeah, so if any of you can think of any things where this is like, maybe it's not actually that good, let me know, because I'm thinking this is a good thing, and I'm now thinking, when this comes out, if it's only like 150 quid, that could be a potential really good thing. Like, I'm sure there's lots of ways where you could advance on it, so you could like change the speed that it rotates at. Like for video, that's the main thing I'm thinking about. If you have a camera, you can change the speed that it rotates from left and right. But I think this is pretty cool, or pretty decent. And at 150 quid, that's probably as cheap as you can get it before you start adding. So imagine this is Panlight 1. I'd imagine the feature would be Panlight Advanced, where you've got rates of speed of it moving up and down, left and right kind of stuff. But yeah, I think worthy of a Kickstarter donation. If any of you are so inclined to do that. But I'd be interested if any of you can totally find flaws to it, because you should always try and think of the downsides before ever putting your money towards anything. So that's just my thoughts. Logan, what do you think? Logie, does this get Logan's seal of approval? He is speechless, absolutely speechless. Okay, well we'll leave it there. But yeah, interested to hear what you guys think about it. Cheers, bye bye. Right, Logan, how do we turn this off? You press Command, I'll press Alt, you press 2. Okay, ready? There you go, there.